and Communication, Lisbon, Portugal. Award winner at MEDIC 2017, organized by COEP Pune in association with IIT Bombay, BETIC. Winner at MEDA, organized by BJ Medical in association with IIT Bombay. Sir has filed 2 Indian patents and has 1 copyright. We are very happy to have you in our session, sir. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Poonam Chandran sir, for giving these opportunities to interact with the people. Those are actually working with the biomedical field. So, very good afternoon, everyone. I hope my screen is visible to all. Yeah, Poonam
Sir,
sir.
can you make it a full screen, sir?
Yeah, just right. Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, now it is visible, sir.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah, okay. So once again, thank you very much, all of you and all the participants and Chandran sir and Kaktiya University for giving this great opportunity to have some interaction with all of you. Now, actually, I'm working with that the CT scan image conversion into that 3D model because that 3D model is very important from the engineering aspects point of view. And now from this session, we would like to have some discussion on it, how this 3D model, after creating the 3D model, what is the purpose of that model for different, what different purpose we can use this model. Apart from that, I know that in from last few sessions, you have seen that the many other tools or methods which are being used to convert the image data into that the 3D model. But now on today's, we will go to see that in the last few half an hours, how that software, which is called as the Synopsys Simpleware software, used for converting that image data into the 3D model very easily. So now, before to go with that, all the details, just I would like to show you the presentation outline. Now in today's presentation, I would like to cover the imaging techniques. We should know that which are the different imaging techniques are available in the biomedical field. Then we will go with that the classification of the biomedical engineering. Then CT scan image with the protocol, what protocols we need to follow into the CT scan imaging. Then we will go with that the my research area, which is related with the femur bone and their nomenclature. Then we also have the discussion on the fracture locations in the femur bone, the need of that study, why that study is important to go with this research. Then why there is a need to use a Simpleware Scan IP for this application that we will also discuss. Then the methodology of generating the 3D model. Then the recent publication which I have been published in last year that I would like to share with you all. Then the further research area means in medical image based research in ortho engineering, which are the different trends is going on and which are the different areas you can touch upon in coming few years, so that this research is definitely recognized at national as well as international platforms. And as I told you that finally we will go to solve that one case study directly onto that the software platform for converting the CT scan images into the 3D model. So let us start with the first point related with the imaging techniques. As we all know that generally there are 3 imaging techniques are used. First is called as a X-ray, second is called as a computed tomography, and third is called as a magnetic resonance imaging. Each technique is having their own advantages and disadvantages. As we may know about that, the X-ray technique is related with that the 2D imaging of the human body organs, and CT and MRI techniques basically used for the study of the 3D image of the human organs. Generally in hospitals for the blood clots, blood injuries, cancer, tumor, lung and heart issues, spine, bone, joint related issues, some soft tissues if they are tear out, ligaments, etc. For this purpose, CT scan and MRI is widely used comparatively the X-ray. X-ray will not give you that much amount of depth of the details about the organs which you want to take the scan of it. But CT and MRI will give you that the details, in-depth details about that the human organs which you want to study. But still, there is a basic difference between the CT images and MRI images. Generally, CT images are the rotating X-ray machine images only, and the MRI images are the magnetic resonance images. CT images are used by the radiations, and MRI images are used by the strong magnetic field and radio wave frequency. But when you talk about the CT images are more faster than that of MRI images. Apart from that, the cost of CT scan images are less comparatively the MRI images,
Rahul sir,
as well as,
sorry to
yeah.
disturb you. Are the slides are being changed, sir, or only the first slide we are having?
No, only that imaging technique slide is now visible.
CT scan image into 3D model, sir. That is available.
Okay, that second slide is not visible, sir.
Not visible, sir.
Now?
No, sir.
Okay,
Sir, actually
just
we are
wait.
presenting the PPT, not the full one.
Okay, just wait, sir. Now is that visible?
Yes, sir. Presentation outline.
Okay, now it is changing the slides.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what I will do, I will not convert into the full screen. I think there might be the issues related with the full screen presentation. So I'll just keep this presentation like this only. Is that okay? That screen is visible to all clearly?
Participants, please respond. It is okay, sir.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So sorry for inconvenience. So these are the three imaging techniques which have been used for the imaging purpose. So as I told you that, so out of that, CT scan images are of having the less cost, and it is faster than that of MRI, and therefore in hospitals the CT scan images are widely used comparatively the MRI images. So this is the basic difference between that CT and MRI. In addition of that, the CT scan images will not be create any type of the noise sounds when you are going to take that the scan of any human beings. But MRI images, I mean, at the time of taking the MRI, it may create the noise and sound when that the human being is now going inside to that the MRI machine. Apart from that, the one of the method which is called as the DEXA method. DEXA method, basically the scanning method which is used for measuring the bone mineral density, and it is the method which will be giving you the quality of the bone by using that T-score. So you can see into the figure that the scale which is given. So BMD is measured into that scale. If your the T-score value is from -1 to +4, then we can say that the bone is a healthy bone. And if the value of the T-score is from -1 to -2.5, then we can say that the bone quality is degrade. There is a low bone density. We may also call as there is osteopenia to that human or to that person. And if the value of T score will be reduced from 2.5 to -4, then we can say that the bone quality is too much degraded, and maybe that person is having the osteoporosis, which will be having the more brittle bone. So this is another technique which is called as a DEXA technique, will be giving you the bone mineral density. Why it is important to show this technique? Because by using the SimpleWare Scan IP software, we can also find out the bone mineral density. Therefore, the person don't want to go through that the CT scan and as well as DEXA scanning, two type of scanning. He don't want to go through it. He just want to get the CT scan, and from the CT scan, we are able to tell him that the bone mineral density or the bone quality. So that is the major advantage of using the SimpleWare Scan IP. Now, before to move, we should know that what is the biomedical engineering. As we know that the biomechanics is the part of that biomedical engineering, and further this biomechanics is also classified into the three types, like clinical biomechanics, sports biomechanics, and injury biomechanics. So these are the three sub part of that the biomechanics area. And we know that what is that biomechanics. So basically biomechanics is the structure, is a study of the structure, function, forces and motion of the mechanical aspect of biological system. So to study of this structure, function and the forces as well as the motion, which will be have some mechanical aspects or some engineering aspects of that biological system or biological parts, then it is called as the biomechanics. So here in the figure you can see that I have shown the one athlete, one runner-up person who I have shown here that, and in another figure I have shown that the implant and fixation. So for this purpose, the biomechanics study is very important. Now, as far as concerned with my research, I am working into that the estimation of biomechanical properties of the femur bone, and for this purpose, I have just concentrating onto that the long bone, which will be available into the hip joint. You know that here I have shown that figure, which is called as the long bone or the femur bone. As we know that this bone is the longest bone and strongest bone in the human body, and which will be having that the spherical head. You can see here the spherical head, and will be providing the spherical motions, or we can say articulate inside to that the acetabulum in all degrees of freedom. Now, another part which is called as a neck part. Neck part is the part which will be connected that the spherical head with the greater truncator. Greater truncator, intertruncator, and lesser truncator is connected with that the some muscles which are all around to your hip joint, and that muscles are providing the bearing support to your hip joint at the time of different day-to-day activities performed by human beings. The corpus femoris is also called as the shaft of that femur. You can see here that shaft will be showing, and finally it will be connected with your knee joint. That shaft or corpus femoris is connected with your knee joint. So this is the condition in which I am going to work. So as I told you that my working into the investigation of that mechanical properties of the femur bone, and this is called as the macrostructural analysis. In that case, I'm going to study that how this load is acting onto the head portion in compression. Under the compression, what is the load at which this joint will be failed? I just want to find out that the load at which it will fail. Along with the load, I am also going to study that the different mechanical properties like stress, strain, density, and Young modulus, etc. For the given compressive load. At the same time, I'm going to change the different inclination of that the bone according to the different day-to-day activities. So here you can see that I have choose that 0, 8, and 15 degree of angle at which the bones are inclined, and and we all know that if bones are inclined, then at different load there is a different fracture which will be occurred into the long bone or femur bone. So this is the area which I'm going to study. Now then, why I choose that the fracture location as the upper portion. So here you can see that the fracture location into the neck head portion only. So why I choose this portion? Because generally it is found that the maximum fracture those are occurred in femoral neck head region are 86%. So it's a very big number, big percentage of the failure or the fracture are occurred into the femoral neck head region only, comparatively the other region. Rest of the region will be having the 14% of fracture, and therefore I thought to go with that this area only. I mean to concentrate on this area only to study. Now, what is the need of that to study the fractures into the different heart tissues? Because as I told you that there are different day-to-day activities. Apart from the day-to-day activities, these are the few things. Because of that, we have to go to study the mechanical properties of the heart tissues. You can see here the different sports activities. Due to that, the injuries will be occurred into the femur joint. There is a one athlete I have shown here who is doing the weightlifting. So due to the weightlifting, there is a compressive load directly acting on your hip joint, and again there is a chances of that immediate failure of that your long bone or the femur bone. So that's why it is important to find out the mechanical properties. Another reason apart from that, there are few diseases like Coxa varus and Coxa valgus type of the issues. You can see that the legs are now sprayed and legs are contracted. So this type of the problems we have observed many times into the people. This kind of the problems are from their childhoods, and because of that, again the different load distribution. There is no uniform load distribution onto your long bones, and therefore again there is a need to study that the mechanical properties of these bones. You can see here how the fractures occurred into that region only, neck fractures. You can see three types of fracture: type A, type B, and type C type of the fractures. Those are occurred due to these activities. Another figure will be showing that due to the age, for the women there is a more than that of 50 to 55 age, and for males the age is more than that of 60 years. Because of the age effect, there is a chances of deteriorating the bone quality, and due to that, again the chances of the fracture at the neck head region. And therefore, I thought that to take this area as a research. This is another reason I have choose, because the complex surgery planning, we know that in hospitals, if there are some major accidents like this, the neck portion will be failed. So the doctor will take 2 to 3 days for their surgery planning, and for this purpose, this kind of the research are definitely helpful. And again, to do the implants, so that study of the surgery planning and to do the implants, the software is very much useful. So from the image data, the doctor will be study that the surgery planning and as well as the implant and fixation for the patient. Apart from that, I found that one article in the newspaper regarding that the implant and fixation which we are imported from the Johnson and Johnson and from other countries, those implants are defective implant when these implants are inserted into the Indian people, we can say, and these implants are the defective implants. So I thought that why not we design and develop the material model for our Indian people, which will be helped to design and develop the implant and fixation for Indian people only. Now then, for this research, how my software, SimpleWare ScanIP will be useful for this application, just I want to be disseminated to you. So why use of the SimpleWare ScanIP? Basically, SimpleWare ScanIP is a complete solution for the 3D imaging processing segmentation, and the generation of high quality models for the CAD and 3D printing. Apart from that, the SimpleWare Scan IP is easy to learn and use. It's an intuitive interface with the quick and easy access to all tools and features. Second is fast and accurate, because comprehensive analysis of even the most complex 3D image data that is possible by using SimpleWare Scan IP. Third is powerful and reliable. It will give you the guaranteed watertight model generation of the highest quality. There is no loss of the image data whenever you convert it from the image to the 3D model. There is no loss of the data. Therefore, it is very powerful and reliable tool in today's date used by the biomedical people. And finally, it is fully supported, because all licenses come with the full support from the expert team of the application engineers from the SimpleWare Scan IP. And I have that experience. I got the good support from the SimpleWare Scan IP. So these are the CT scan image with the protocol details. Why it is important to show this CT scan image with the protocol details? Because it is directly or indirectly related with the scan data which you are getting through the scanning, and will be converted into the 3D model. So if you don't have to maintain that the proper specification for CT scan images, then there is a chances of that it will create that some noise or some inaccuracies into the conversion of 3D model. And therefore, I have just choose these CT scan details. You can see that the slice thickness generally people will keep at the time of taking CT scan is 1.25. I'll suggest that if you work into this area, then you choose 1.25 mm. Then the current which will be choose for this scan data is 80 to 100 milliampere. The voltage is 100 to 120 kVp, kilovolts peak. And DFOV, you can choose 100 mm. DFOV means it is display field of view. Basically, DFOV is used to determine how much of the scan field of view is reconstructed into an image. This DFOV you will get from that image matrix and the pixel size only. There is a chart, standard chart is now available on the company. Those are manufacturing the CT scan machine. On that company websites, these standard charts are available. So for image matrix 512 by 512 pixels and the pixel size is 0.2 to 0.2 mm. For this, the DFOV is 100 mm, and therefore I have choose this. So you can see here the image in the below figure. I have shown this is my own CT scan I have taken, and at the time of that taking the CT scan, the second figure will be shown at the time of taking the CT scan from the hospital. Now the third figure will show the first figure in that is showing the noise into that the image. And next to it, the noise is eliminated if you maintain these parameter CT scan protocols at the time of taking the CT scans. And finally, then we convert into that the 3D model by using the different slices. So look at here, the slice thickness is kept is 1.25 mm. So whenever you get that the scan data from the hospitals, that scan data is available into the DICOM format, and the DICOM format will be provided the group of the slices together. So maybe 400, 500, 600 or 1000 slices are there. If your slices are more, then obviously your resolution of the scan data is good, and you can see that in-depth analysis of that the organ or the part which you want to take that CT scan. You can study it very properly. Okay, so if you have the maximum number of these slices, then your scan is having more resolution. You can see in-depth detailing or study of that the scan of the part. As well as if you have the slice thickness as less as possible, like 1.25 or 1, then it will again giving you the high accurate data conversion into the 3D model. All right, so this is the methodology of 3D model generation by using that software. So I have just chalk out the flow of that converting the CT scan image into the 3D model. There are a number of operations and tools are used as and when required. Again, it is depends on that. As I told you, if your quality of the scan is very good, then there is no much effort you have to take to convert into the 3D model. But if your scan data is not that much proper or that much good, then there is a little difficulty, and we have to use the more time to or spend the more time and use more tools to convert into that the 3D model. So this is these are the different steps which we need to follow. That step we will see at the time of to actually going to see these things onto the software. At that time we will going to see this. All right, so these are my few publications in the last year on the basis of that image data converted into the 3D model. So I have used that SimpleWare ScanIP softwares, and on the basis of that I have published these papers. Now one paper is, I received the review comments on that paper, and second, my another paper is accepted for NIT Patna. So these are, I feel, these are the areas which are related with the medical image based research in the ortho engineering. I feel that these areas still require the more study, and in future definitely there is a recognition if the people start to work in this area. First is investigation of the biomechanical properties. Currently, I am working on that, but there are many flaws and many things are there not still are revealed. So in future, definitely that area is more helpful if any researcher will start working into that. Second is study and development of the new material for implant and fixation. Many people will start to work in optimization of the materials required for implant and fixation design and manufacturing. So for this, I think the new materials, you have to think about that the new material which is lightweight, which is not react with the bodies. Human bodies should not be react with the human bodies. There is no chemical reaction, there is no any other type of the reaction, and it is long life. So that kind of things are important in today's date, so people can develop the new materials for it. Third is improvement in the accuracy of CT image based 3D model for FEA. Whenever you import actually your 3D model, after getting the 3D model from the image data, further it will be go to the other software for finite element analysis, for CFD, for finding the mechanical properties of it. And for this purpose, there is a chances of that the accuracy of that image data, which will be converted into the 3D model, may be hampered. And therefore, we feel that the improvement in the accuracy by using the SimpleWare ScanIP as well as the other softwares like the FEA software, finite element analysis, will help a lot if you give your research inputs into that. And fourth area is design and development of the patient-specific implant and fixation. So in today's date, the people are manufacturing in the mass production the implant and fixation, but every human being is different from the other. And I feel that if you focus on to the design and development of the patient-specific implant and fixation in less time and less cost. Okay, so I think that area will be the more prospective area in future. All right, so this is all about that the presentation which I have been completed. Now I'm going to shift on to the software, but before it, if you have any questions, you can ask me.
Participants, if you have any questions regarding the presentation, you may ask the questions. Or else you may write them in chat box also.
Yeah, you can write into the chat box. Yeah, I think Hanit Kaur has asked the question. It is related with can we generate a 3D model of brain from DICOM MRI images using this software? Yes, Hanit Kaur, definitely we will create that the 3D model by using the MRI as well as CT scan. But the requirement of that software is only the file in the form of DICOM, digital imaging and communications in medicine. So the long form of that, the DICOM. So if the file is in the form of DICOM, definitely you convert it into the 3D model by using that software.
Sir, will you explain that software now?
Yeah, I'll directly shift over onto the software because it is a license copy. So it is available in my desktop. So I just want to leave from here and just connect it with that my desktop. Okay, so
Yes,
can I
sir.
connect with my desktop? All right.
Yes, sir. You may, sir.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
so I'll
participants, if you have any questions, you may type in the chat box.
Yeah, no problem. So I'll just leave from here and join to the desktop. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Participants, now there will be a demonstration of the Synopsys software about the image processing, how to load the images and how to process them in the software and how to generate a 3D model.
Hello, Chandran sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Just wait. I'll just start the software. Okay, all right. Is that visible?
Yes, sir. It's clearly visible.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, sir. So this is the software which is called as a Simpleware Scan IP. Actually, we have the license copy of it, and therefore I thought directly to show you that how this scan data will be converted into the 3D model by using the DICOM images which have been taken from the CT scan. So here you can see the number of options. The software is not only to import the DICOM images, but apart from that, you can also import the CAD model directly. Because for implant and fixation planning, as I told you that in previous slides, doctors required to do the surgery planning. So at that time, he want that how the implant and fixation will be placed inside the the bone, and for this purpose this software is also well supported to the CAD files. But now I will just show you quickly that how that DICOM images are converted into the 3D model. So here you can see the option of DICOM images. Click onto the DICOM images. This screen is open in front of you. Then click onto the scan folder. So I have already that folder which will be saved the different DICOM files. These are my DICOM files only. So I'm able to show you this. So I just click on that file, select folder. So this DICOM file are start to import. When that DICOM files are import, you can see in this screen the DICOM images are 433 CT. You can also see that on which date you have taken these DICOM images. Study description for which part you are taking the DICOM images, that is also come here. Series number, on that day there are 4, 5, 6 patients are there, so that will be also shown by that series number. Description, you can write the other description related with the slices thickness and some other part. So here you can see that. Here you can see on another side the 433 images again, and taking 1.25 mm the slice thickness. Another images I have taken that of 55 images only, and of having 5 mm thickness of the bone. So if you see by the observation, this 5 mm thickness are not that much accurate. You can see that there is a noise you can see into the 5 mm slice thickness comparatively the 1.25 mm standard size. So what I will do, I'll just click onto that the 1.25 mm slice thickness and just finished. Okay, other than that of before finish, you can see here the preview of that image. Okay, you can move and check whether whatever image you get from that CT scan is in a proper format or not. Total images are 430. So at each image, you can see that the scan and the data which is inside to that the scan. You can just stay at any one slice and you can study it, or you can scroll it as per your requirement. Here in this table, you will see that the details of imaging machine, on which image machine you have taken that CT scan. Other details are also there, like name of the physician, name of the patient. Okay, again the description related with for which purpose you have taken the CT scan. Okay, you can see that all the information is now coming here. Name of the patient, it is a patient ID, is the gender of that people, age of that patient, which type of acquisition parameters they have kept, like helical mode, slice thickness, whatever I have shown you, that protocol, that all these things you can see here. Okay, there are other things are also there which are not much important from our point of view, but these are the major things which you want to always take care of at the time of taking the scan. Okay, so after selecting this, I'm just going to click on the finish. Now these slices are start to import. Look at that, this screen is open in front of you, and just at the top you can see there are the different tools as per the requirement you have to use, like image processing, surface tools, volume mesh tools. If you require some measurements, you can do the measurements, 3D preview, view, and there is a help. Okay, and some below of it, there are some toolboxes like general models, some recording. If you want to do that of your work, then you can also do it. Okay, and some data set which you want to browse, then that will become under that toolboxes. Some animations if you want to generate, that also you can do. Okay, so the screen is open in front of you. There are four you can see that the four pictures. Okay, in that complete screen you can see four pictures. These three are showing that the 2D views of your CT scan. You can also scroll here that CT scan. This is into the right and left, and you can see here, this is the right. R stands on right, left, S stand on superior, and inferior, we can say. So this is the scan into this picture. On another side, the another side of the picture, you can see that posterior, anterior, inferior, superior. So these are the view you can see into that. So this is the one of the very important we can say good feature of scan IP is that you can see in all the views. I mean, all 360-degree you can see that the scan which you have taken, because sometimes it happens the fracture will not be shown into this first picture, but they may see into that the posterior and anterior, and therefore you have to again move into that the second screen or second picture. Now third picture will be showing for right and left, anterior and posterior. Okay, so in that again, if there are some fractures which will be created on the surface of that head, then you can see into that picture. And fourth screen will be showing the 3D model. So after you are working on that 2D images of these 2D images of showing into that three pictures, automatically it will be converted the 3D model into this remaining picture or remaining screen. Okay, so now before to move it, you can see that, just I'll magnify this image. You can see still there is some noise around to that the bone. I am interested into that femur bone only, but there are some noise around to that. So what I will do, I'll try to reduce that noise. Therefore I'll just click onto the image processing. In image processing, I'll go to the smoothing filter, and in that I'll click onto the median filter. Here in the median filter, the values of X, Y, and Z direction pixels which are coming, it will coming automatically 111. If you want to require the more accurate image, if the noise is very high, then you can increase that value from 1 to 1.5 to 2.5 like this. But right now I feel that this one is sufficient for XYZ direction. So cubic isotropic value, that means the all values are same. If you don't want that all values same, then still this is the flexibility to you. You can just change the values, pixel values along to that the different direction. But right now I am selecting all the directions having the same values. Click onto the apply. Observe here that noise is now visible. That noise is now eliminated from the image. You can see that whatever noise was seen in previous image, now it is eliminated, and image is now well smoothened image, we can say that, comparatively the previous image. So as per the noise which are coming into the scan data, all right, there is no problem, no harmful. If you are not able to, I mean, set that the protocols which I have been shown, then you can still you can convert that image into the very appropriate form by using that median filter and some other tool like resample. Resample is also work in a similar way of that the median filter. Okay, so by using it, we have just converted that image by reducing the noise of it. Then we will go on to the threshold option. So before to go with the threshold option, I'll just show you in this screen how this model will be look like. So I'm going to click it here on the render visualization of the current background.
I'll click on that. You can see the scan will be look like this. So I'll click on that. The another option which is called as volume rendering, configure the background volume rendering. I'll click on that. So here that screen is open. Here you can adjust the grayscale value, opacity value, sharpness and all. So accordingly that the background noise will be reduced. But the Simpleware Scan IP also provided some default model which are set for the different types of application, different type of parts. So here I'll click on the preset. You can see for the bone it is already given. So you don't want to, manually change this value. Just click onto the bone. Automatically it will set these values. Look at here, the values are set. And you can see that now it will be converted into that the model. But these models are having many inaccuracies, like you can see that the background is also come along with that your 3D model, as well as there are few portion at which there are some we can say cavities are there. So these cavities are created because at the time of scanning the proper scanning is not done, or we can say there is no grayscale value is appropriately assigned to it through that CT scan, and therefore these cavities are showing here. So we want that very perfect or we can say smooth femur bone from the complete model, and for that we need to use the different tools. Then I'll go with the threshold option. So I'll just minimize this screen and increase this screen. I'll go on to the 3D threshold option. In threshold, what we will do that we have the flexibility to provide the mask onto that bone, and for that we can use that threshold option. So now it is only the scan data, and the scan data is not having any type of the mask on it. So we need to provide the mask onto that the scan data, and for this we need to use that threshold option. So if you so to implement the threshold, always keep this on this side, and this you can move, you can scroll according to that the your grayscale values. So on this graph you can see that the grayscale value is now shown. You can just move it to and fro. So just we are interested into that bone, so we will move it slowly to get that part only. If you increase it too much, then complete body will be showing that the mask will be implemented, but we don't want like this. We just want that the region of interest of femur bone, and therefore we just scroll it according to that part only. So here you can see I'm going to set this value like this. Even there is some CT preset value for the mask implementation is provided. Even you can click on CT preset. Some values are already kept here. They have already kept some masking values similar to that we have seen into that the volume rendering. If you click on that, automatically it will take this value. But I will suggest you can take the values according to your scan requirement, because every scans are not same. So we will take this value, we will implement the mask like this. Now after implementing, click onto the fill cavities in the resulting mask, and only keep the large resulting Iceland. We will click on that. Why it is so? Because if there are some mask is implemented on non-interesting part, then this part will be removed automatically. So just click. It will run the algorithm, and automatically that mask will be implemented onto that the region of interest. All right. So if you click on this generate a fast review button, you can see that this will be now converted into that the model. But still, if our interest is only onto the femur bone, so we don't want these parts which are showing like acetabulum, and the other side of the bone is now shown here. So if we are not interested into that, we are interested only one. So what we want to do here, we just want to go into the crop option. So what happened into the crop option, whatever is your interest, that part only you keep keep, and remaining part you can neglect or remove. So you can see here. Okay, here in a crop option, you can see that the right, left, anterior, posterior, inferior, superior, you can choose it according to your requirement, and you will remove that part from that the model. So you can see here I have adjusted the right side of the plane up to this. If you increase it, then that much amount of part will be removed from your model. So I just want to keep this one, so I'll keep that plane here. From left side, I'll just move it up to this. Okay, right? Up to this I can move because I want this part. I'm interested into this part. From anterior side, I just want to check from this side. Otherwise, it will remove your even region of interest. So just move it very slowly. Okay, and this is the inferior side. Okay, I don't want to move it, so I'll keep it as it is. This portion I just want to move. So up to this. All right. Okay, I think this side we need to again move. So I'm using posterior side. Okay. Another reason to do it, because you can see here the data set memory is 340.53 MB. Right bottom side you can see data set is memory is 340.53 MB. So if your data set memory is very high, then it will take the more time to process the data, and that is another reason to do the cropping, because if you are interested into that part only, then only that part you can crop, and remaining part you can eliminate. So automatically your memory size will be also reduced. So now you can see that the memory size is from 300 something, from that it will be coming to 15 only, and just click on that. So look at that, my region of interest only showing here, and remaining part is eliminated. But still there is a acetabulum part will be showing here. I don't want this part. I'm interested only that femur. So then I have to go again to the option which is called as split region. I'll again go to this 2D image screen, and I'll click onto the split region. The function of the split region is it will separate the two masses, or two masks, we can say, the mask for acetabulum and mask for that femur bone. It will separate out. So click on split region. Click onto that, the create a marker mask. So here I will draw the marker for two masks, like acetabulum part. I can randomly going to mark this portion. Randomly I'm going to mark. Then second portion I'm going to mark like this. Okay. So here you can click on use new mask label for each object. So here we will click and create an interfacial layer mask. So we don't want to create the interfacial or in between layer of the mask. We don't want to create. So just click on this and apply. So here you can see that the two masks are implemented for the femur and acetabulum. We can also see into this model, 3D model. Just click again onto the preview. See that. Okay. Then easily we can just remove this acetabulum part. Just click on that which part you don't want or you want to eliminate. So here in the dataset browser, you click on this or switch off this part, then you will get this image. Okay, you can see that this bone, but still the bone is not a smooth bone. You can see that there are many voids are having on it, or there are many artifacts on it. Even even you can see that there is some cavity on that surface of the bone. Look at here, there is a cavity. So we want to make it very smooth and effective 3D model so that it can be used further for the different softwares. And for this purpose, what I can do, I can again go here and I will check that where these cavities are showing. Look at that. These are the cavities which are showing on this screen. Okay, here is again no connectivity between that the model. You can see there is a loss of data here. There is no mask is implemented onto that image. So here is again some cavities are showing. We want to fill that all the cavities because to convert very proper accurate model. Okay, and for this purpose we need to click on the paint option. Look at here, the paint option is there. Just click on the paint option. Here you can select the cursor, size of the cursor, and just paint on each slide. Just I will quickly do it. Okay, just wait. Our active mask is femur, so here we need to select that active mask. If you select this mask, then whatever you are going to apply the mask is a different mask, which is not for this femur bone. So select it appropriately, that mask, and for that mask you start to implement the mask and connect these boundaries. Unless and until you connect the boundaries, you cannot fill these cavities. So I'm just doing it very quickly. Later on we will fill that all the cavities by using that cavity fill option, but at least we need to provide some mask to some slices, and therefore randomly I'm going to apply that mask onto the slices. Here you can see, here is again okay. So here you can implement like this. Okay, so you can observe on each slice if there are disconnection between the boundaries and the material which you have provided. Just close all these boundaries. These voids or these cavities are automatically filled when we implement that fill the gaps and cavity fill option. But this option is very important before to apply the cavity fill paint option. You can just apply the mask randomly. See that there is again disconnection of the boundaries. All right, so almost I have applied the mask on that the cavities and the boundaries. Okay, this boundaries again we need to close. Randomly on few slices you need to apply, not all slices. Okay, all right. Okay. So for I have applied the mask on it, then I will go with the option which is available in morphological close. That paint option was in segmentation. Now that close option in the morphological close, here I'll click. I will keep that the default value 111 here and just apply. See here, this these cavities are filled, but still there are few cavities here. In another portion, these are not called as the cavities. These are for the bone marrow. Okay, so if you want to make the complete bone as a solid, then you can convert into the solid by implementing the same mask. Otherwise, you can implement the another mask which is called as bone marrow onto that these different cavities which are been showing here truncator portion. But our interest is between only that neck and head portion. Therefore, we have just concentrated on that portion. But still here is that cavity will be showing. So later on what we do, we will just click onto the fill gaps most contact surfaces. Fill gaps is the option into the additional tools. Then you can see that the all gaps, even those are not filled by using the close and cavity fill gaps. Then they are filled by using this option. So just concentrate onto this area only, neck and this spherical region. All these voids or cavities are filled completely. If you go here, you can see if I do the preview, all these voids, all these gaps are filled. All these cavities are filled properly. But still you can see that bone is now saying that some artifacts are provided on it, which we want to remove and make it more smooth. So for this purpose, we go into the smoothing filters, again into the additional option, select the recursive Gaussian option. Here you can select 1 and check for 1 how much smooth you will get this the 3D model. So apply. After applying, you can see that I'm clicking on the preview. See that now your bone is more smooth as compared to previous. If you feel that you are still not satisfied with the smoothness of this model, you can also increase it by 0.5. Again, cubic isotropic, so all values are same. Click on apply and this. So look at that. Now it is more smooth, but you cannot make it more smooth, because if you make it more smooth, then the image data will be lost. You can see here. You can see that the boundary lines which are provided, exactly these boundary lines will be apply the mask. I'll just make it zoom. Exactly the CT scan, according to that the CT scan, only the mask is implemented. Very exactly it will be implemented. If you make it more big, then only you come to know that very small gap is between that the scan and your mask. Okay, so very exactly mask is provided to these boundaries. Okay, and therefore I feel that this software is very much accurate comparatively. If you start to reduce this more, then the mask implementation according to the image will be reduced. Then you will not get the exact 3D model according to the CT scan. And for this, you cannot increase that value very high to make it more and more smooth. I think that much is a sufficient model from the smoothness point of view. Okay, you can also converted this model as per the required extension. As I told you that if you require to create their FE model, because to carry out some analysis, finite element analysis, to find out the properties of that bone, and for that purpose we require to create the FE model. And for this, what we want to do that we want to create the models. Here you can see the model option. I'll just rename it. I'll call it as a femur. Okay. So I'll just take this femur in a models. It will be showing you that currently there is no model. So which model you want to create? You want to create the surface model. If you create the surface model, it will create only the surface. You cannot find out the mechanical properties or material properties of it. So I'll create the FE model. You can see the FE model is created. Just right click on the FE model and to find out some material properties from it. So click onto the model configuration. Model configuration, you can see that the general information. We will keep that information, use the grayscale values. So obviously the CT scan data is having grayscale values. So whatever material properties I'm going to evaluate, these are based on the grayscale value. So I'll keep it as it is, grayscale values. I want the length, I mean dimensions of it in mm. There are other options are available, microns, centimeters, meters you can take. I'm just keeping it in millimeter only. Coordinate system, there is always the coordinate system for your 3D model. Image coordinate system and global. Generally we select the global coordinate system when we convert into the FE model. Here you can see the number of extension like FE, surface, CFD, NURBS, physics model. So as I told you, I will create the finite element model. There are number of export type are also available. Very flexible export type are given by Synopsys, Simpleware Scan IP Synopsys. So you can see that Abacus, Athena, ANSYS, these are all the softwares are used to find out the strength of or fracture or stress and strain like the mechanical properties by using it. So Nastran I am going to select here, Nastran. Volume meshing. There are different types of volume meshing. Which type of element you want? Tetrahedral, quadratic, straight. So now I'm keeping here as per the given tetrahedral linear. I'll keep. Okay. Coarse and coarse size you can select. I mean the size of that element. The element which are forming onto that the 3D model, we need to select their size. If the size is very fine, then the size of your I mean the memory of your model will be higher. If it will be having the core size, then memory is less. So we will keep it in between minus 25. It is okay. We will keep it minus 25 in between. As it is, we will keep. Then materials. So here you will get the material properties which are grayscale based material properties. I'll click on that. You can see the grayscale versus mass density graph will be coming. This will be coming automatically because there is an algorithm which will be working behind to Simpleware Scan IP. So I'll just set the limit of it. You can see here, we can scroll that the complete pointer. So whatever that blue color will be showing, it's a grayscale value for that model. So I'll just keep near to that. And on other side, I will move it till this, we can say, you can see invalid material property values detected on this page. Okay, unless and until that instruction will not vanish or eliminated, we will just scroll this left side of pointer slowly. So you can see I'm going to move it very slowly here. Now you can see, now that pointer which have been seen or that instruction which have been seen, now it is eliminated. Okay, so I'll stop here. So automatically these values for start and end values are selected for the given grayscale. Number of steps. So in between how many number of steps you want to divide, accordingly it will be divided into that number of material. If I select 10 steps, then you can see the change on this graph. Okay, you can see that this grayscale is divided into 10 materials, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what I do again, that instruction will be coming. So again, I'll scroll it to the next. Okay. Okay. Now it is eliminated. Okay. Even you can increase 20. If your number of steps are more than number of properties for the given grayscale you will get. So even there is a small area, small region onto the femur bone. For that, it will giving you the material properties very accurately. Okay. So number of steps are 10 I have selected. Now here you can see the two options of mass density. One is known coefficient and another is the calibration point. These known coefficients are taken from one of the journal paper, which is very old paper written by Rowe et al. From that, he has already developed the equation of apparent mass density and Young modulus. These are the two major properties of bone. So that he has developed by experimentation these two values, 1.31 e raised to minus 10, 1.067 e raised to minus 12, like this. Okay. So what I will do, I will just go with these coefficients only. Otherwise, you have the another option, which is the calibration point. So according to the calibration of your CT scan data, you can select this value of grayscale and mass density. Okay, so right now I will go with that known coefficients which are given. I need to convert that value into kg per meter cube, and therefore I'll just eliminate e raised to minus 12 and e raised to these values, because these values are in gram per centimeter cube, and therefore I have just eliminated this. Okay, again it will be showing that instruction. So now you can see, now this pointer will be set up exactly or just little bit nearby to that the 0. Okay, I'll try to set it at 0. Right here directly that value 0. Right, you can see that now exactly the grayscale value is set for that material, and then I will just click on the close. Okay, then I'll go with the FE model option. You can see at the top of this bar, FE model. I'll see the model preview, then full model conversion. It will automatically created the FE model by using that surface generation, surface meshing, etc. These options are automatically run into the algorithm, and it will create that the meshing model of that the femur. All right, so this is called as the mesh model. You can see that the meshing is now generated on it. Reason of generating the meshing at each element, these are called as the elements. On each element we are able to find out their mechanical properties. Okay, so this model is generated. Now further you want to see the segmentation quality, whatever work you have carried out, whether it will be appropriate or not. Just click on the segmentation quality. It will automatically check the segmentation quality, whether the good quality 3D model is generated or not. You can see there is no segmentation problem has been found. If the problems are found, then it will be coming here in the warnings, and you have to eliminate that issues. But now the software will say that there is no segmentation problems. It will be the accurate segmentation, accurate 3D model generation. So now we get the confident about that. Okay, all right, my model is good. Now then we will go with the mesh quality. Again, similarly, we'll check the mesh quality. So for mesh quality, we again need to convert into the mesh model. Again, here is showing there is no errors are found in the mesh quality. If the errors are found, then again it will be showing here in the metric. So again, my mesh quality is very excellent for the model. Okay, now it is ready to find out the properties. So I'll go on into the option view, visibility option. In visibility option, I can just keep surface entities as a none and active object material properties. So here you can see the material properties of it. So now our interest is into the mass density and Young modulus. So I will click on the mass density. Look at that. This model is showing the mass density according to this graph. 84.30 kg per meter cube. 1578.284 is the mass density, maximum mass density. Okay, so generally human bones are having 2000 kg per meter cube mass density. So once you get this mass density, from that you can predict whether the bone is now having good quality or not. If it is more than that of 1500, or it may go near to the 1700, 1800, then we can say that the bone quality is very good. But if it is nearby to the 1500 like this, the density of that bone, then we can say that bone quality is not good. There is a chances of osteoporosis or osteopenia type of the diseases. Okay, so whatever I have shown you in the PPT, that DEXA is the method we need to go. So in this case, you don't want to use the DEXA method. By using the software, you can easily find out that the mass density of the bone. It is also correct that the mass density is not the exact mass density. It is called as the apparent mass density. Okay, but the density, apparent mass density and actual bone density, there is no much difference between that both. Hardly it is the 5 to 10% of the deviation which will be coming. So roughly you can find out the bone quality. If it is less than 500, then we can say that there is an issue with the bone quality. Okay. Along with the mass density, you can also find out the Young modulus. You can see that the value of Young modulus will be calculated similar to the bone density. Okay, another observation from this graph, you can see the blue color of area is showing at this region. Okay, and the blue color of area is at the bottom of that mass density scale. That means what? Why this area is showing the less mass density? Because this area is the spongy area comparatively your remaining area. Remaining bone area is a very dense area. but that neck portion and the head portion is the spongy area, like honey bone structure. The spongy area, that means it is like a honey bone structure, and therefore the major chances of the failure of the bone in this area. Okay, all right. So after this, there are number of other tools you can use, like a slice plane. In slice plane, actually your bone will be now placed into the scan model, which you have taken the scan model. So here you can place the implant and any other component inserted into the bone, and you can see that whether it will be fit appropriately or not. After inserting the component, if you want to see how that component is inserted inside to the bone, then we can right click onto the active mask and just decrease the opacity. Look at that. Now this inside component will be showing the cavity right now, but you can give the mask to that cavity as well, like a bone marrow mask you can implement to that cavity. Or otherwise, as I told you, if you inserted the implant, you come to know that how that implant will be inserted inside the bone. If you want more opacity, you can get the more opacity. See that, like this. So whatever implant is coming inside to the bone, you can see appropriate location, appropriate position of it. Okay. Now another is if you want to see inside it how the material is behaved, then click on the enable option into the 3D clipping, by which you can understand how the material properties are distributed inside the material. So just you cut this material like this. Look at that. So this way your density will be distributed inside to the bone. Look at that. This is what? This is the cortical bone. Whatever the density you can see is maximum, which is all around the 1578.284 kg per meter cube. That density will be more dense here in this portion. So ultimately the bone is more dense in a shaft portion, which is called as the cortical bone, and that will be more dense and having the more density. So it will prove right now from that software, the density will be showing higher in this region only, in the cortical region only. And above of that, as I told you, there is a spongy, so that density is a little bit less comparatively that cortical. So that inside material distribution also you can see by using this option in 3D clipping. Another advantage of this software is we can also have the measurement or the dimensions. If you want to find out the dimensions of that subject specific analysis of that bone or any other component, then you can just click on measurement option. There are many measurements are available here: histogram, profile line, linear measurement, wall thickness, cortical wall thickness. If you want to measure, you can measure. So there are number of options are available here. Just will click on the measurement, linear measurement will click on this. So just randomly I will choose 2 points here. You can see it will give you that the length of that bone. It will now showing 144.844 mm. Okay, similarly you can measure the spherical dimensions. You can measure the angular dimension. Any other type of dimensions you can measure by using this software. Okay, apart from that, if there are some artifacts are created onto the model, okay, just wait, I will show you that. Okay, all right. Now you can see that this model is very smooth, but because of some scan issues, maybe that model is not smooth. There are some artifacts are created. So there is one option here, which is called as 3D editing option. So by using the 3D editing option, you can fill that cavity, you can delete the cavity, you can smooth the surfaces. Okay, there are many options are available. For example, if you want to delete some portion, so click on the delete option, select here the first term. So, or you can select the primitive. So I can select the primitive ellipsoid I am going to select, and if I click it here, so automatically that much amount of portion is eliminated if it is not required. Apply. Closed. Okay. What happened? Just wait. Ellipse. Okay, right now it is selected properly. And apply. Look at here. If I want to remove that portion by because of some artifacts or some extra projections are showing, you can use the delete option and to remove that material. If you again want that the material here in this portion, then you can use another option which is called as that fill option. You can, similar to the delete, you can fill that the material in this portion. Okay, this way, but now I have not selected appropriately and therefore it will be showing like this. I'll just go back. Okay, so that going back option is also available here. Okay, so 3D editing is the option for just doing some changes into that the 3D model as and when you required. If you want that complete model is now solid model, then you can fill the same material here, but we know that the bone is not completely the solid. It will be provided the bone marrow inside it, and therefore we have created that hollow bone material here. Okay. So if anybody is having any question, so that's all from my side. Yeah, I think there are a few questions. Okay, Shubhangi Ghate is asking about that. Do we get software for a simulation purpose? Yes, you will get the a trial copy. You can just ask to the Synopsys Simpleware, on which on that company website you can just enroll your all details. And then you will get the trial copy of that 15 to 30 days to do the practice on this software. Yeah. So Hanit Kaur is asking the question related with, can this work on Nifty images? No, I don't know. Understand that what is Nifty images. If you elaborate it in more detail, then only I understand. I'm not aware about the Nifty images, but which I know that the software will be taking only the DICOM images. Even if you have CT scan, the MRI images, you have to take these images into the DICOM format only. Yeah, Renu has asked the question related with, can we save coronal, transverse and sagittal views separately as a DICOM slices? Yes, you can see that the actual, the model into the coronal, transverse and sagittal views. You can see the model. I don't think so you need to separate out that DICOM images into the coronal, transverse and sagittal plane, because all these three views are important to create that the 3D model. So definitely we don't require to separate out it. But you can study into that plane, like coronal plane, which will be showing as a frontal plane. So just wait, I'll show you that. So this is actually the coronal plane, right? So if you have to work on this plane only, then still you require the 3D model. So you have to consider all the three planes. Even you want to work onto that only a single plane like coronal and all. So in my presentation, I have shown you that angles which are given in coronal plane only. So if this model will be tilted, okay, so this will be tilted in coronal plane. If you want to tilt it in two planes simultaneously to have some analysis of it, then you need the two planes of it. But separate, I don't think so it is required. If you separate out, then no 3D model will be created, because you will get only the slices into the one plane, and therefore it will not create the 3D model. For 3D model, you need all the planes. Okay, thank you. Any other question?